Ooh, yeah. Cacti. This looks awesome. Glad the guys aren't here for this one. Oh man, so good. I'm drooling. I think I could use a little Woodford though. Let's see. Pour a little in there. Yeah, now we're talking. Spilled plenty on the table. Let's see how it is now. Just about perfect. Oh crap. All right, this.
You have the glasses here?
Yeah, I'm ready, guys. Let's do this. Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
Dylan.
And welcome to yet another episode of our Ultimate Spirits Competition, our quest to review every sipping spirit on the face of the planet and subject to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. And in this episode, we got a box. Dylan was lobbying so hard to do this.
No. Here's the truth, folks. Look, I was very busy this week, and Dutch is like, you gotta come over. I got the best thing ever. I said, what? What's going on? Did you get a Buffalo Trace antique collection? What did you get? Of course, I come here. It's Blood Oath. So you guys know secretly that Dutch's favorite things: TMZ, White Claw, coolers,
Like cacti?
and Blood Oath.
Nobody believes that. I don't like
every year.
any of those things. I don't even
Yeah,
like.
that's why he has the whole collection.
I don't even like Woodford. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Too long, don't care.
But inside, this is a very cool box. I'll just show you guys here. This is what the cover looks like. As you can see, it is bourbon finished in calvados casks. Kind of comes like this. Look at that. Very cool. This is pack number 8. I believe we've reviewed over the course of our time on YouTube, like 3 or 4 of these?
I wonder why.
3 or 4 too many?
And then there was a lull.
Apparently I
Finished
collect
it
them.
all.
Let's take a quick look. It got kind of a green and gold motif here. 49.3% alcohol, like all of them, at 98.6. Hence the reference to blood, like the temperature of human blood in the body. I don't know if it's only human blood, but packed 8. So yeah, this is a masterful union of 3 well-bred, aged bourbons, all with exceptional pedigree. I think only one of them is aged in Calvados. So it's an 8-year-old finished in Calvados, delivering notes of juicy pears, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what the other 2 are. They've always been a little vague on that. I believe we thought Heaven Hill sourced back in the day. Who knows where it is now? It is a Luxco product, and Luxco did now sign a deal with MGP.
Right.
So
Exactly.
who knows where they're getting this stuff? But really, who cares? Let's just see how it tastes. Dylan,
Yeah, so every year, Dutch.
I'll pour you some extra.
Yeah, every year. Look at that. You know,
I know how much you like
it. You see that he's projecting there? So every year, Dutch waits until this release comes out, and he's like drooling. It's like, oh, I gotta get this thing. I gotta love it. I'm gonna go sniff that wood box. And that's what he says at home. For me, I will say hats off to Blood Oath in that they do try different things. This is kind of their experimental line, I think. There are fanboys and girls, I guess.
Luxco's
Yeah, from Luxco. And
all I gotta say is, who bought this bottle?
you.
No, Dylan bought this one. Who bought last year's?
Projecting.
Dylan. But I will project a little more and just say that for members of Curiosity Private, we will be comparing this batch 8 to the batch 7 from last year, which I think was Sauterne barrel finish. So stick around for that if you're a member of Curiosity Private. If you're not, just hang out because we're about to taste this one and score it. But I need a scorecard, Jules.
I think we all need scorecards.
And a pen. They do say the pen is mightier. Did you guys know what Calvados is?
No
Yes.
idea.
Apple brandy. Oh, what does this smell like?
What is that?
It smells like something else. What is it?
It smells like a Friday night at Dutch's place. That's what it is.
What's the price point on this? $100? What did you pay,
I think they
Dylan?
raised the price a little bit. I think it's 100.
Oh, good.
It's over 100 now. 120.
Oh, wow. Jeez. 120?
All right, guys, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored it. We haven't discussed it at all. We're about to do that. But first, Jules here is going to tell you guys about our scoring system.
10 categories. up to 100 points that include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. Flavor, though, we weigh at 20 points. Aesthetics and value at 5 points each. You can bet on our competition. If you score 60 and up, go from bronze, silver, gold to diamond.
All right, initial scores. Of course, we're going to discuss this. Things could change. We could go up. We could go down. We don't know. I gave this
What do you got?
64.
I gave this 70.
I gave this a 70.
What? Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm open to discussing this. Let's kick it off with aroma. I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
7.
There's a lot here. It's not.
I
It
think
doesn't smell like bourbon.
So I went.
to me. I don't know. Like.
There are elements of bourbon that remind you of bourbon.
I mean, we've had releases where it was, they put brandy in it, where it was just super synthetic. It smelled like the men's urinal at the Cosmopolitan. This is not that.
No.
I mean, like the initial, the issue I had was that the nosing was different every time. Like it was like all over the place. Sometimes it was like, wow, this is really pleasant, and there's lots of fruits. And
To me, there was just something distinctly off about it. It wasn't that it was bad. It just didn't it didn't mesh right with bourbon. And I got a little bit of that bourbon grain underneath it, but the calvados or whatever it was causing this weird flavor. Just, I don't know. It wasn't that bad. It was okay.
It was
for me,
chaotic.
it's not that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, you hit it on the head with that. It was just elements there. You know what I mean? But they didn't coexist together. So.
Good point. All right, moving on to flavor. Just a decent amount going on here. I give it a 16.
16.
I gave it a 15.
Okay.
About
So we're right around there.
Yeah.
There are interesting flavor elements here, and there are unique elements as well. And I had to give it points for that. The problem I had was like, it's almost so messy that it's hard to pull out individual flavors.
This is hard to.
I mean, I was getting
Describe.
sweetness and spice.
Very hard to describe.
I felt.
But they're
I almost
so
felt
general.
like.
Yeah, I can only do generic.
And it's not even
description of
calvados.
it.
You're not
absolutely
tasting
right.
apple.
Yeah, no.
You're not tasting apple.
I
You're just-
almost feel like you
Yeah.
have, paint by numbers, right? You have the paint by numbers, except you have two different ones. You have the one that is supposed to be with the brandy, and then you have the bourbon. And you're like, you can pick out either of these things, but then it kind of goes back and forth, and it's like it doesn't mesh as well as it should be. And yet it wasn't like off-putting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like, it didn't taste like bourbon that somebody just dumped Calvados in.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give it credit for that, but I didn't really know where to do that. It didn't,
Yeah, I understand.
still didn't quite work.
Again, the chaos.
But chaotic.
The chaos.
All right, moving on to complexity.
No,
body.
Sorry, body, I give it a 6.
6.
I give it a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Unremarkable for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was the heft was still there actually.
It varied too much for me sip to
Thinned
sip.
out
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I stuck with the 6. All right, moving on to complexity. I actually found quite a bit going on here. I give it an 8.
I give it a 7.
I give it a strong 7.
Yeah, I mean, you guys said chaotic, and I think that's why, is because there is a lot of stuff going on. It doesn't come together around any single flavor, but I do think it's quite complex, and I kind of gave it the points here.
It definitely hits a lot of buckets. I think that's
Yeah.
why, so it's not like just one or two. And then,
Again, it felt like 2 buckets,
Yeah.
2 different buckets, and I'm like tasting it, and it's very different.
It was more like one bucket with a divider in the middle.
It's like one of those.
No, it's more like 2 buckets.
1 cup. All right, moving on to balance.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I give it a 6. This is where it really
Wait,
faltered for me.
I give it a 7.
Balance 6.
Yeah, this is where it lacked for me the most,
Exactly.
almost.
But it's not unpleasant.
No,
But
it's close.
it's just something's.
If you're gonna throw this many flavors into a bourbon, they just need to be a little bit better balanced.
You know what I felt like? I felt like it had no direction.
Yeah, no anchor. There's no anchor flavor. I was expecting this Calvados like apple brandy anchor, and it's just not there. There are elements of that woven into this kind of nondescript bourbon flavor, but it just didn't.
Yeah, I don't
nothing
get the
came together.
intent. I don't understand the intent here.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
All right, guys, finish. I gave it a couple extra bonus points here. I gave it an 8.
Oh. This is where it was weak for me. I give it a 6.
I give it a 7.
It lasted very long for me. And in
Yeah.
general, I really enjoyed the flavors that came out in the finish, almost more than the initial palate hit. And I felt like, again, it deserved a couple bonus points
Yeah,
because
the
of that.
finish was surprisingly long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why extra points there.
Okay.
Agreed. Okay, uniqueness. We were trying to find another Calvados finished bourbon.
Yeah.
Couldn't find one. I gave it an 8.
That's why I give it a 7.
I gave it an 8.
It should be an 8. It should be an 8.
Yeah, I mean, Bell Mead brandy finish, Jefferson's Ocean
But
brandy
look,
finish.
brandy. This is a very specific kind of brandy. This is
You know,
Calvados.
the barrel brandy finish. Yeah, you get those, but again, it's pretty unique. It's hard to find a replacement.
Yeah,
right?
not very many of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe it's because it doesn't work very well with bourbon.
Bam.
All right, let's move on to drinkability. I give it a 6.
Give it a 7.
I gave it a 7.
I understand the
Drinkable.
7. I don't.
It's not off-putting.
Dutch is overcompensating. He knows he's going to go back to this. Tomorrow it's going to be half done. You know it. You know it. Come on, folks. Let's be real here. This is not a place to
I mean, it's not bad. You're not convincing me. By the way, talking like that, Jules, convince me.
I can't.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm staying in the 6. All right, moving on to aesthetics. 4, good.
4.
I like it.
4.
It's like their classic Blood Oath look.
Blood
That's
Oath,
exactly what you're
rhetoric.
getting.
It's a good looking
All of
bottle.
the, you know,
I like the
document,
Box
all that.
presentation.
I like the shtick
Yeah.
of the blood temperature, all that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Cool
All right,
story.
guys. Value. I mean, the price jump. I had to knock it here. I give it a 1.
I give it a 3
Well, also, I want to point out.
because it's within the realm of the other Blood Oaths.
Well, Dylan, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 2, but I'm thinking about going down to 1.
Well, think about High West, because I was looking through our High West collection because I was thinking, oh, maybe there's a Calvados one of those, right? $30.
Yeah, but the finish on this is longer. I think it's a better
it is
product.
older, but still, this ultimately comes down to an academic bourbon, right? And if you want that experience, you can basically get it from the High West
Yeah.
for a third of the price.
Yeah.
That's why it's a 1. I understand the 2, but I don't think it's a 3.
Yeah, it's definitely below a 3 because this is not a $120 bourbon. There's no way this is $120.
I'm giving you a bonus
It's a
point
60,
just for the presentation.
60,
right?
$70
$60,
bourbon.
$70.
You're going
I
to
agree,
collect these.
You know where this fits? This fits with the 1792 Barton releases, the Thomas
The Thomas More.
Moore.
I think it's better
I
than
like
that.
it's
in a lot of
it's
ways.
in that line. I think that's
Yeah,
where
but
the
then that's
price
where it
point should
also
be.
aligns. Yeah, I
It's
agree. But
probably
then,
$10
but
cheaper.
you're going to keep collecting
across the
these,
board.
dude. Someone's
I know.
gonna
That's
keep
why
buying
I said there was two.
$120, Jules.
So one. So I said
If
one.
someone started this from
Nobody's gonna buy this for $120.
Look,
Nobody should buy this.
I
for
gave it
120.
one.
Whoever
because,
got like 7, 6, 5, 4, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Like
No,
me.
I agree. See right there.
Told you just justified it.
Boom.
Right, but I gave it a 64. That's why it's a 1. It's not worth that price.
You know why he's giving that low score? So that next year people don't buy it, so he can.
So he
keep
can he can stock up.
Yeah, no, that's we know what it is.
Yeah, I
Come
love
on,
you,
we all,
Luxco.
we all
Know the
see
game.
through this, right?
All right, I'll drop mine
To what?
to 1.
Like when Jules changes
I'm
the
tempted to go to
score.
0.
Yeah,
Because-
I'm like 2 and a 1.
tempted
I'm
to go to
actually
0.
conflicted because on one hand, the reason I put 1 is because for people who are collecting this and who feel like this is worth
Yeah, they're
it for their
collecting.
collection.
That's what I was just. Those are exactly
they're not
what I was
going to bat
thinking.
an eye. They're not going to bat an eye. They're
No,
going to
at
go pick this
120,
up.
they're
So there's a
not.
value in the collection,
Yeah.
okay, in the grand scheme of things.
I agree.
There's also
Yeah,
another.
but I give it the points there in uniqueness. That's what I mean. If you want something unique for your shelf,
Okay.
maybe you'd feel justified, but it still should be
I give it
$60,
an
$70.
extra value. I give it an extra value point because beyond just the collection, the brandy finished bourbon. Okay, I mean, if you look at what's out there, this is probably the slightly better. I mean, relatively speaking, release, and so that's where the extra value.
It's a better experience.
Yeah, I mean, like the Bell Mead.
No, but
and
you have
all
to
that-
admit, like ultimately, this is just mediocre bourbon
Yeah.
that somebody added a Calvados finish to, and that's the only reason it costs $120.
I agree.
This is not $120.
That's why it's
bourbon.
below a 3.
It's
And
barely
it's a very niche
$30.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. I do understand the two. All right, guys, let's get our final tally here. I stayed at my 64. Jules?
68.
70.
Which gives us our official Ultimate Spirits competition score for Blood Oath Pact 8. It's a 67, a solid bronze.
67.
As they say in the business of rock hard bronze.
I don't know what you're talking about. What business are you talking about? Comment below why. I don't understand, Dutch. he's,
There's a lot you don't understand, Dylan, but it's okay. Jules, please take us out of this episode.
Tell us what you
Yeah,
guys think of the
take us out from this rock hard
low.
episode. Yeah, it's not a Puritan show. I need to leave.
You said it, not me.
Wow. Cool story.
You're the one throwing around the
Thumbs
false
up,
accusations.
thumbs down. Let us know either way. Subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private and also just join the other membership program. Patreons, t-shirts, and podcasts. All the major podcast platforms out there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious.
Where's the phone? Because he's just
You're getting
phoning it in.
worse.
Just keep
Every
phoning
episode
it
you're
in.
getting worse. Join.
One job to do.
Join.
Man.
Oh, you can also join.
Throw me off with that whole join thing. God, Dutch. I blame Dutch.